Merry meet or merry meet again, everyone. I'm Witch Hazel, here to share with you how I manage to combine the practical, hands-on processes of witchcraft with the sometimes more difficult to master elements of spirituality. Today, I've got another viewer question, and it has to do with how much self-worth is needed to improve manifestation success. I wanted to address this because I know there are two polar opposite opinions on this theme, and it can be very difficult to decide which train of thought is correct. So on the one hand, you've got teachers and coaches advocating that if you have a negative self-image, that must be corrected before trying to manifest anything, because without a positive self-image, nothing else will work. Well, this is often discouraging because most of us have at least some self-image issues. Anyone who doesn't is probably edging into the realm of narcissism. But the bigger issue is that for many people, they start working on their self-image and get stuck there. It's like a never-ending rabbit hole. One issue leading to the next issue, leading to another issue. This is, after all, what keeps psychologists employed. So if we wait until we have our inner selves sorted out perfectly, we'll never get to manifesting anything. On the other side of the coin, we've got the idea that self-work isn't necessary. Manifestation can happen no matter what. This is where you find all the videos titled things like manifest even if you don't believe it, manifest without a high vibration, or without visualizing, or through only repetition. And given that both camps have countless testimonials of the fact that their belief system works, how do we know the right answer for ourselves? Well, I'm going to go into further detail on my opinions of both sides, but I'll give you the most important part up front. Intuition, your personal connection to the divine. Anyone who has learned to trust and strengthen their intuition has their own private bat phone to George upstairs, and all of these arguments become a moot point. If you are constantly on the fence between, do I need to fix myself and I don't need to fix myself, then I'm going to say the problem isn't you. The problem is damaged intuition. Before you enter into years worth of negotiations with your inner child, please take a look in the description where I have a brand new free resource for you. It's a 4-step guide to intuitive power and is meant to help you see more consistent results in your manifesting within 30 days. Try that first. Give it a dedicated try and see what happens. If your intuition tells you to work on your self-image, then that's what you need to do. And that brings us back to what I think of this whole debate. I'm going to point out the two things I've personally experienced, and I'm going to say take it as food for thought. Then look to your own experience for the real answer. Okay, first, every method works. There are too many manifesting success stories out there to try to say one method works and another doesn't. Casting spells works. Visualization works. Repetitive affirmations work. I've had success in the past with repetitive writing of affirmations, kind of like the standards they used to make us do at school when we misbehaved. All of it works. The reason, as I've mentioned before, is because it's not the method that's doing anything. It's your faith in the method. And this is where things get dicey, because guess what? If we have feelings of negative self-worth, that's going to sabotage our faith in most cases. Keep in mind, I consider wording very important. Notice I didn't say belief. We can have belief in something without having faith in it. I think this nuance is the biggest issue in this debate. Different teachers will use different terms or use them interchangeably, so it's very important that you understand what those two terms mean for yourself. I wanted to take a quick look at some of the spiritual teachers I read the most or have read most recently, and see if we can see any patterns. So 3 of them, Florence Scovel-Shinn, Neville Goddard, and Jose Silva, are often quoted in the world of manifestation and law of attraction, of course. Less quoted, but one of my favorites, is Paramahansa Yogananda. Scovel-Shinn's focus is affirmation. Throughout her books, she advocates repetitive affirmation as the only thing we need to get what we want or need in life. Goddard does mention self-image, but almost as a side note to the real deal maker, which in his mind is visualization, while in deep meditation. Silva also focuses on meditation and visualization from a more scientific standpoint of optimal brain waves. And Yogananda advocates deep meditation with a sprinkle of visualization. So notice that at best, self-image comes up as a side note. The common theme is to impress the subconscious with the desired truth or outcome. Even in the case of Scovel-Shinn, who doesn't expressly highlight meditation, the theme is the same. We have to go in and essentially brainwash ourselves to use not the best term for it. These authors also agree that the only thing which can cause our work to fail is doubt. The moment we let doubt take root, it voids all of our work. They say it specifically, but even if they didn't, you can read it in the language of their books. They are completely self-assured in the information that they are presenting. They know it as the absolute truth, and that's why it is. It's the conviction, the faith. This is where the idea of self-image comes in, because of its ties to doubt, not because it in and of itself is negative or has any power. Those success stories that advocate no self-work are all from people who managed to have faith in their method despite whatever failings they believed themselves to have. This is where my next observation comes in. I, like so many others, have issues. I go through periods of more or less confidence. For a long time, I believed the solution to finding lasting confidence and positive self-worth was shadow work. I even went to a therapist briefly at one point. But what I found every time was that the end result never made me feel better. Never made me feel better about myself. If anything, it made me feel worse. I felt almost obligated to find traumas in my childhood and past lives, people and events to blame my current issues on. It never improved and it never ended. I finally decided that to feel an improvement in my self-worth, I had to stop trying to fix myself, stop trying to fix my self-worth. And honestly, that's what helped the most, especially when I came across the idea of our ability to choose the memories that we recall or our reactions to situations. Those exercises helped vastly more than looking for negative things to blame. This was my experience. I know many people who go to regular therapy, do shadow work, review and sort out negative experiences and trauma in their lives, and it works. It works for them. It helps them. And this is why I say, if your intuition tells you to work on your self-image, do it. And no, you don't need to put off manifesting efforts until after you feel your self-work is done, because it may never be. And that's not a problem or a judgment, just so we're clear on that. We build up a lot of history through the lifetimes. It's not a stretch to think that during one of them, the universe may say, you know what? Getting all this sorted is priority one this round. So my final answer, I guess, is that I don't personally believe self-work is necessary for successful manifestation. However, faith and a strong intuitive connection are. And unfortunately, faith is often strongly tied to confidence. I will be getting into more detail on this confidence connection next month, which should give you just enough time to test out strengthening your intuition with my guidebook in the description. Just saying. In which case, the new theme should be a great complement to what you learn this month. So the theme for next month will complement this month. Looking forward to sharing lots more introspective info with you for the moment though. So until next time, everyone, blessed be.